This man was sentenced to death and was about to be publicly executed in the arena. The reason? He had openly defied a Roman general's orders, all to protect his homeland. 4 fully armed gladiators were assigned to carry out his execution. Everyone assumed his fate was sealed, but at that critical moment, the image of his beloved wife flashed through his mind. In an instant, a primal fury surged within him. He broke free from his restraints, seized a weapon, and, like a bloodthirsty beast, launched a ferocious counterattack. Within mere moments, 3 of the gladiators lay dead at his feet. The last opponent was kicked to the ground. The entire crowd erupted in frenzy. They had never witnessed such fearless, relentless courage. Who was this man? And why had he been driven to this point of no return? The story begins months earlier, in an ancient Thracian tribe, where a heated debate was unfolding. A respected elder stepped forward, urging silence so the Roman envoy could speak. General Glaber delivered grim news. The eastern kingdom of Mithridates was launching a massive invasion. Though this threat seemed distant from Thrace, a far more immediate danger loomed from the north. Thousands of Getae barbarians were gathering, ready to strike at any moment, just 3 or 4 days' march from their gates. Glaber's mission was clear. He sought an alliance with the Thracians to jointly confront this common enemy. But the Thracians bore a deep grudge against Rome, for Rome had once stolen their land and now dared to ask them for help. As the tribe wavered, Spartacus stepped forward and laid out a condition.
The Getae dead. All of them.
Glaber silently agreed. That night, Spartacus returned home to his wife, Sura, who had prepared everything for him. He promised her that once the Getae threat was eliminated, he would lay down his sword and return to her, to live peacefully, raise children, and leave war behind forever. Learning they would depart at dawn, Sura pulled him close, determined to make their final night together an eternal memory of love. At sunrise, however, Sura was filled with dread. She told Spartacus that the gods had visited her in a dream. He knelt before a great red serpent, his lifeblood draining away. She saw it as a warning. If he went to war, disaster would surely follow. Spartacus dismissed it as mere nightmare. A man is forged by blood and honor, he reassured her. Nothing will tear us apart. Before leaving, he tied a cloth around her leg, a token to soothe their longing. I'll kill every enemy, he vowed. For you, I will return. The moment he donned his helmet, he ceased to be a husband and became a warrior. On the battlefield, the Thracians fought with unmatched ferocity, holding back the Getae horde with sheer grit. But the promised Roman legions never arrived. Only after the Thracians had suffered devastating losses did Glaber's cavalry finally appear. After the battle, surviving Thracian soldiers grumbled bitterly.
They're just getting away.
Rome had sent them to die on the front lines while feeding them scraps. Mockery from his comrades enraged Spartacus. Honor, to him, meant keeping one's word. A brawl nearly broke out.
We can defend our own lands.
We gave our word. In my village, such a thing still bears meaning.
Words and honor, my great fat ass.
But Roman officers intervened just in time. The general then called for volunteers for a near-suicidal reconnaissance mission. Spartacus and the very man he'd just fought were chosen.
Retreat would take them beyond the mountains to the north. Their torches bear west.
West?
Our villages.
Meanwhile, an unexpected visitor arrived at Glaber's tent, his wife, Ilithyia. She hadn't come for affection, but to remind him true glory lay in the east. Defeating Mithridates would bring him fame and fortune. Wasting time fighting barbarians in the north would only disappoint her father, the powerful senator. Her words quietly shifted the course of the war. Soon after, Spartacus returned with vital intelligence. The Getae forces were retreating, not north but west, circling toward the Thracian villages below, their homes, their families, defenseless. Spartacus pleaded for immediate pursuit, but Glaber brushed him off, claiming it was too dark to act. Ambition had blinded Glaber. The Getae moved westward, away from Mithridates in the east, bringing him one step closer to the glory he sought. At dawn, the Roman camp sounded the trumpet. Spartacus hoped the general had come to his senses. Instead, the order came, march east to fight Mithridates. Spartacus snapped.
No.
I swore only to drive back the Getae, he roared. I never pledged to fight your eastern wars. His open defiance ignited long simmering tensions. Thracians and Romans clashed in chaos. Spartacus killed Glaber's lieutenant, shattering the fragile alliance.
Break and go your way!
He told his people to go home and raced alone toward his village. There, he found Sura among the survivors.
The village.
Together, they gazed upon their burning homeland. Sura looked at him, not with blame, but with sorrow. It was Rome who broke their word, she whispered, not you.
You did what you could. You came back. For me.
But before dawn broke again, Glaber's army caught up with them. Outmatched, Spartacus could do nothing as his wife was dragged away. He himself was condemned to slavery. Glaber sneered, "You will live and die beneath Rome's shadow." Thus, Spartacus and his comrades were sold into the brutal city of Capua, infamous for its blood-soaked arenas. Glaber returned there too, needing to explain his early return to his father-in-law, Senator Albinius. Lanista Batiatus and rival Salonius eagerly presented their strongest fighters to win the senator's favor. And Glaber? He offered the public execution of 6 Thracian rebels, including Spartacus, as a gift to the people of Capua. The next day, the arena roared with anticipation. One by one, Spartacus's countrymen were slaughtered. When his turn came, Glaber, seeking maximum humiliation, sent 4 of Salonius's elite gladiators to slowly torture him to death. Outnumbered and overwhelmed, Spartacus was quickly beaten to the ground. Just as the crowd assumed his end was near, thoughts of Sura and burning vengeance ignited within him. He rose like a wild animal, exploiting his enemy's arrogance, moving with terrifying instinct and skill. In a whirlwind of steel, he cut down all 4 gladiators. The crowd was stunned, then thunderous. Chants of "spare him" shook the stadium, leaving Glaber and Albinius trapped in an impossible dilemma. Ever the opportunist, Batiatus saw his chance. He proposed buying the Thracian and training him as a gladiator, satisfying the mob while saving the general's face. Albinius agreed and asked the man his name. Batiatus, quick-witted, recalled the name of an ancient Thracian king.
Spartacus, he was called.
And so, the man was given a new name, Spartacus. He had survived, but lost his name, his freedom, and the love of his life. Yet this name would soon make all of Rome tremble.